Hola, episode number 8080 of Business Leadership Stories. The warm, beaming Sachin Bhandary is back for the attack. Really, what started 80 weeks ago as an experiment is now so well entrenched in the minds of radio listeners as well as people who follow us on the Mint YouTube channel. You can catch us every single Tuesday in the morning, 8 to 8:30 a.m. 94.3 Radio 1 in Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, and Chennai, and of course, subsequently in full video form in the Mint YouTube channel. Sachin Bhandary is from the Story Co. He tells us a powerful, powerful story. Simple at the outset, but it does contain a powerful lesson in marketing communications. Now, my good friend has moved to Mysore post his post-marital bliss happening to his life. So he would have been quoting from either Hindi cinema or Marathi cinema. But off late, he's quoting from Malayalam, Kannada cinema, as well as from Tamil cinema. A powerful pitch or a lesson from a Tamil movie. What's the story of the day, Sachin? How are you?
I'm very good, Rishi. Thanks. I still watch Marathi movies, and I absolutely love them. So maybe one of these days, I will narrate a story from a Marathi movie. This movie that I'm talking about is called Meiyazhagan. I hope I got the pronunciation right. And It's a movie about two long lost cousins, or rather, one cousin rediscovering his village, which he had left because of some family issues. And he meets this cousin of his who he doesn't know who exactly he is, and he's trying to remember all the while. And it's about conversations between these two men. Fantastic movie, a bit like, I don't know if you watched Before Sunrise and Before Sunset. It's basically just about two people having a conversation with each other. And in one particular scene, there's a conversation about a bicycle, right? And when Arvind Swamy's character left the village, he said that let this bicycle be taken over by anyone who needs it. And that's how the bicycle lands with the other cousin, who is played by Karthi. And the bicycle has already been used for 8 years. So Arvind Swamy really thinks that there's nothing left in this bicycle for me. I'm done with this bicycle. That's the attitude that he had. But this bicycle, when it arrives at Karti's home, actually is used by him and his brother to commute to the school. His father takes the cycle on the weekends and sells saris and all of that. That's how they get access to a better life. He's able to put the kids, to a better school. And even when they go to a better school, which is slightly far away and not accessible by foot, the kids again use the cycle to commute there. And Karthi, towards the end, says that for you it might have just been a bicycle. For me, it's nothing less than a deity or a god. It is what has given my family a chance at a better life. And in that moment, you cannot stop yourself from tearing up. And if you owned a cycle when you were a kid, you will definitely, take a walk back the memory lane. And I think a lot of people would have resonated with that. And that's why this movie is an absolute, it's a hit. I don't know if it's a blockbuster hit or not, but it's definitely a movie which is doing really well.
Incredible. Arvind Swamy, of course, has been around since we were kids. You remember his
That's right.
Roja and
That's
Bombay and
right.
things like that. But still
Yeah.
looking handsome and dapper. Karthi's elder brother, Surya, also a very famous actor in Tamil Nadu. And
Right.
this is a movie called Meiyazhagan, which Sachin pronounced perfectly correctly. Now, obviously, the look of it, it talks about a simple little cycle. But your marketing and communication tip talks about how big businesses and brands often focus on the big picture or scale, and sometimes lose out on the small nitty-gritties of life.
That is
So
true.
let's see what lessons we can take away from this wonderful story from this Tamil film.
Right. So, I'll never forget the brand of the cycle when Karthi narrates the story. It's a rally cycle, right? And I'm sure that it's not a brand placement per se, but because, yesteryears people used to use rally cycle. Rally was very, very popular and all of that. Now, imagine that someone who's heard this story hasn't forgotten the name, and I don't think I'll ever forget the name of the cycle or the name of the brand of the cycle. It's because of this individual's story and how he narrated it, and how the cycle actually was not just a vehicle to take you from one place to another. It actually became a vehicle of transformation for the entire family. And that's why I believe that these individual stories, human stories of products, of brands that we use, etc., are so important. And we think rightly that these stories are important from a communication or a marketing perspective, and that brands should narrate these individual stories, which is what I recommend to my clients and startups and executives as well all the time. And it's true that they are important and they work, but I think what's more important is for brands, products, or even businessmen, entrepreneurs, CEOs to actually listen to the stories of their customers, and how their products are either changing their lives, or where is it that the change that they are expecting is not happening. Because when you listen to stories like this, it's when you get connected with the mission of your company, mission of your product, mission of your brand. And I have a personal example. I run this community called Story Club, right, Rishi, which we talk about every once in a while. An elite community of founders and executives where we are using storytelling as a habit to make progress in career and life. One of the most important, I mean, there are three important facets. One is preparation for your communication. Second is practicing your communication over and over again. And third part is feedback. And recently, I just, tried to gather some feedback from the members. One of them, a lady who's a really smart person who moved from journalism to communications industry, told me that because of the feedback that community members gave to her, she was able to meet the MD of a large multinational and bag a senior role in the company. Another one who's an investment professional, has worked with really big firms, investment banking and private equity firms. He mentioned that the help that the members gave him to prepare for an investor presentation for an elite group of investors, that is something that has given like a push to his career, and now he's getting invited in at multiple forums to speak because he was the best speaker for that day. But the best one was when a senior executive with one of the consulting firms who's been working with me but now also is a part of Story Club told me that storytelling and what he's learning at the Story Club is helping him become a better parent, because he's able to narrate stories of values and the right things to do to his kids, and that to him is the most important takeaway, or rather the benefit of storytelling. Now, these stories are great, and I'm sure that if somebody else listens to these stories, they will feel great about the Story Club. But for me, it is getting reconnected to my mission and understanding why the Story Club matters, and that motivates me even more to do a better job. So, yeah, stories are important, individual stories, but you need to listen to them as well and not just think of it as marketing assets.
Wonderful. Now, if people were to join your Story Club or also take some of your workshops that you conduct for leaders, that you conduct for how you can tell stories and thereby derive marketing communication tips from them, where can one reach out to you, Sachin Bhandary?
Fairly simple, Rishi. Look for Sachin Bhandary on LinkedIn. Sachin is easy. Bhandary is Bhandary. And on my profile, there's a link which says get in touch or stay in touch. You can either schedule a Zoom call with me if you are representing a large corporation and you want me to come in and do workshops or some other kind of programs. And if you want to join the Story Club, if you want to just get a feeler, the first meeting is free. You can click a link which will help you register for the upcoming meetings. So yeah, that's how you can get in touch.
Incredible. I'm going to see you next week, my friend, for our 81st episode of Business and Leadership Stories. Thank you very much and take care of yourself. Bye-bye.
Look forward, Rishi. Look forward.
94.3 Radio 1.